Hey folks, Twisted Christian Jewish here. I'm going to discuss a little bit about Armageddon. This is a different topic, and I had brought it up because I came across it when I was trying to do some research on some Kim Clement prophecies. And this prophecy comes from June 21st, 2012. Now he does discuss about fire pointee, but one of the things that he goes kind of in depth a little bit about Armageddon. And for those of you who are like end time enthusiasts, you did a lot of biblical prophecy studies and everything. And maybe, uh, you know, since the old prophets were describing things differently, we have today's prophet. And what are they describing about Armageddon? So Kim Clement has a very interesting thing about Armageddon. And it kind of reminded me of a ridiculous end time movie that I saw. I can't remember the name of the movie, and maybe when I'm finished recording, I could do the research and I could put it up while I'm talking. But they would put these things on their head, and they could imagine themselves healed. They just had to take the mark, right? So it was pretty interesting. This here, what I'm getting ready to show you, and then you guys can go out and start doing the research and start researching what he's saying, is a little bit different than what we think or what we think to know. So this comes from June 21st, 2012. It says here we're going to speak about Armageddon for a minute and about a nuclear and about different atomic powers. But let me say this to you, it's not that time. All right, so what he's saying is that yes, it's not that time as far as, it's Armageddon. A lot of people think that we're here. This was back in 2012, but there's still so much that still has to be done and still fulfilled before we get there. So as I read, I might skip something because he talks about it and then he goes off on sort of like a different subject and then he goes back. But you can read the whole entire link down below in the description. So he says here, I was suddenly aware of two angels. They were speaking to each other. They were not speaking English or the English language as I know it. They were speaking in another tongue. They were discussing the plans God has for his people on earth in a number of nations. You saw what happened to me. I was picking it up and I heard them and I actually spoke the tongue that I heard them speaking. It was almost like I was standing there and it came into my body and I was speaking their tongue and their language. I suddenly became aware of the danger. It seemed like there were signs of war. What frightened me there was talk of a destructive weapon, and I heard this. They're looking in the wrong place. It's hidden. And so it was like I was captured hundreds of feet in the air, and I was above a large forest. And I think even some of you heard me say that. It was like I was hovering above this massive forest. The color seemed dusty with hints of yellow, like mustard and yellow. It didn't seem like a normal forest, and this country contained something extremely dangerous. I was aware of the fact that as a prophet in this age, I was in a similar position as Elijah when he started seeing and hearing the plans of the enemy. Why not today? Why would it only be applicable thousands of years ago? And I'm coming to the next now, which is very important because I heard the angel speaking about Armageddon. I was thinking, Lord, is this my time? I'll show something very powerful about it, a certain weapon, and I don't have the interpretation. That's why I'm opening up and throwing it out. But fear struck me for the first time. Was this nuclear? Was this atomic? What was this that I was feeling? Was I interceding on behalf of Israel and America? I believe I was, first of all. At that point, there were multiple visions, and the question seemed to arise constantly. Armageddon, the slaughter of humanity, an atomic war that nobody wanted, that no one had the wisdom to avoid. I need to say that to you again, and I want you to listen to it because this is what I heard. Armageddon, the slaughter of humanity, an atomic war that no one wanted, which no one had the wisdom to avoid. What we were to pray for wisdom and the Spirit of the Lord. And that's when he was showing me that this weapon that nobody knows about, or perhaps they are ignoring because it's not. Then I heard these words, this is not that time, Armageddon. This is not that time. You can receive peace today at this very moment. This is not that time for the slaughter of humanity. The vision of the wickedness of impending danger is due to some device hidden in a place unknown to the present intelligence. Listen, folks. The vision of the wickedness and impending danger is due to some device hidden in a place unknown to the present intelligence. That's what I have to tell you. and maybe even ignored. In other words, oh, that's not important. This weapon is a human. Okay, now listen. This weapon is a human mind, and the weapon that is in this human mind came to me when I saw some alphabetical letters. I saw some letters, and at first I thought it was A to Z. This is a puzzle to me right now, but God almost said to me, focus on this so that the mystery can be unfolded. The letters were A and Q. That's all I saw, he said. That's where it's at. Then I saw Russia. Then I saw Pakistan. And I saw a connection. That's all I saw. That's all I saw there. I remember that, but I didn't say it. It's important you take note. Go out and research it. All right, folks. So basically there is, from what I gather, and whether or not nuclear weapons are going to be involved in this whole end time thing, maybe to some extent they will be. I don't know, but there is a weapon out there, and apparently it's hidden in a forest somewhere in the Near East, maybe closer to Russia, in a forest. And those are some of the different things that I actually got out of that. So just to kind of go back over some of the things that he did discuss. And there's a destructive weapon that it's hidden. It was above a massive forest. The color seemed dusty with hints of yellow, like mustard and yellow. It didn't seem like a normal forest, and this country contained something extremely dangerous. And then he says, this weapon is in a human mind. And the weapon that is in this human mind came to me when I saw some alphabetical letters. I saw some letters. At first I thought it was A to Z. He says the letters were A and Q. That's all I saw. That's where it's at. Then I saw Russia, Pakistan, and I saw connection. So wherever this destructive weapon is at, wherever this destructive weapon is at, the letters were A and Q. That's where it's at. So there's a forest starting with the letter A and ending with Q. Then you saw Russia and Pakistan. You saw a connection. So maybe there's something there going on over there in the Near East, Middle East. So there's a forest. I don't know if they're mentioning a country or if they're mentioning a city or the name of a forest when the AQ. But I just want to throw that out there. This link will be down below in the description so you guys can take a look at it and read the full, everything from the beginning to the end. So you can get the full context of it. So just looking at it, possibly from what it looks like, maybe there is some kind of nuclear war, but there's also this weapon, and so we're just going to take I'm going to take some extra time out to take a look at this a little bit down the road. I want to see what you guys find out, and you can tell me what you think about what's going on here, and if there's any other information on this whole thing with the A and Q, and any other revelations that might be found in Kim Clement's words, because I couldn't find anything else relating to what he was talking about. Maybe there is something that I've missed. Alright folks, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys like these videos, the Patreon link is down below in the description. Don't forget to go to the House of Destiny too as well, and keep up with what's going on over there with Kim Clement's ministry. Folks, because this is important. Kim Clement, a modern day prophet, is prophesying events from things that have happened in the past all the way through our future, and even further down the road. So anyways, folks, I thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. Be safe. God bless. And with that being said, Twisted Christian out.